The Try I3 Mk3, third generation planar. Let's talk about it. Now, this IEM was sent to me by a friend of the channel. All thoughts and opinions are mine. Now, this is an interesting IEM. It is a planar, it is a branded Knowles BA, and it is a dynamic driver IEM. Let's look at the build quality of this lovely IEM, then we'll go from there. The shell of this is truly magnificent. Not only is it metallic purple, but it's exceedingly smooth. And it's metallic and it looks nice. It has a nice metallic filter on it. It's easy to hold ear tips on. And it has a nice little groove, which makes it so it breathes easy in ear. It also has a venting. So it's like basically perfect, other than it's purple if it's a problem for you. But I really like this shell, and I think they did a fantastic job. Flat 2-pin cable connector as well. Outstanding. This is the case. It's not too exciting, but it's kind of a leather, kind of a felt on the inside, magnetic seal. So it's it's not, again, not super exciting, but it is really nice and for this price. Now, I've seen this for sale on Amazon. You could buy it here on Hifiguides depending on where you want to go, but this has a nice pretty picture of the accessories. You can see it has a nice kind of a purpley box with a nice cable, a little bit of a cleaning brush, and some tips. So this kind of gives you a little bit of a better idea of what you'd be looking at in the full package and the price. So how would I describe the sound? It's very bass light. It doesn't have a great dynamics, but they're okay at the same time. It's like a neutral, shimmery set that does some things well, but it doesn't have a lot of warmth. It has a great wide sound stage, and detail is great on it as well. It's a very mid-centric tuning, which some of you are going to like and some of you aren't. If you're a fan of stuff like that, doesn't have a lot of bass but has great mids and kind of hits that JM1 style target, this does a lot of things well. But let's start by looking at some graphs, and then we'll kind of go from there. So let's look at this graph. What do you notice? It hits a lot of markers on the target. A little bit low air region, but that's kind of okay. It's not bad. What you'll notice is like the big thing that it kind of faults is it doesn't have a ton of a bass shelf. It just kind of has a nice gentle rise, and it doesn't really have a lot of warmth up here either, which is kind of problematic, but it may not be problematic for you. Again, if you're looking for a neutral set that has unique, clean sound, I think this has something that's unique and kind of special about it, and I do like it. First thing I want to compare this to is the Hexa. Like, if your biggest complaint about the Hexa, and you've already tried the Hexa, is that it didn't have enough bass, this is not for you. I think you might like the Hexa better than this, but this does have a very clean, pristine sound stage and some cool things about it. And I think it's kind of a better IEM than the Hexa, but it's also very, very close. And they have like different elements that are better or worse depending on what you want. I mean, a lot of people compare this to the JM1. And like you look at the Kiwi Ears 4, which a lot of people are raving about, you'll notice like the Kiwi Ears 4 kind of lacks a little bit in this 1K presence region here. It also has a lot more warmth, which is nice. But it doesn't, it's like overall bass shelf is like almost 5 degrees higher than the Try i3. And that's kind of something to note of what kind of signature you're getting. Like it's just a little bit more energy here, a little bit less there. Another thing to look at is something like the Dyna Quattro. Now, the Dyna Quattro is a really bassy set. It has more details, more air. You'll just notice it has a lot more popping with it. That's kind of more something that I personally would go for right around this price. I think the i3 is around 200 or 220. The Dyna Quattro is about the same, about, I guess 260, but will go on sale for less. Now, if you look at something like the P7, now you'll notice the P7 has more bass and more warmth, and for me that really helps it connect. It does have really nice vocals and a nice clean feel to the IAM, which is kind of unique. I think it has good drivers and good technicalities, but it doesn't have a nice overall rich sound. It does have a unique sound, and I do think it is very good, but I also don't think it's my favorite at the price point, but I do find it overall a very unique signature and very good. Another one to look at is something like the Explorer. This is a little bit more my jam, just a little bit less of this upper mids peak that I feel like is overdone. And then just kind of this nice warmth and bass that really helps it go across. Now I think the Explorer does have really nice treble, and you might like it better, but they both kind of have a different tonality and timbre to them that's kind of hard to decipher. But the Alpha Explorer, I don't know, to me it's just a better set, and it hits my preferences of how I want to listen to music much better. Another thing to look at, like this has a very similar graph to the Aria 2, but the Aria 2 has more warmth and a little bit better details up around here. I kind of think the Aria 2 would be kind of where I'd want to go and recommend, because it's cheaper, but it's hard to say, but it kind of gives you an idea of where that signature is. The MK3 does have great detail and great technicalities, but that's also kind of hard to describe. Now, at this price point, you could buy something like the Moondrop Cadence. Is this going to be better than the Cadence? I don't think so. The Cadence has a really nice packaging, a nice set overall. It has great upper mids, a little bit more warmth here. Again, depends on what you want, but I think it might be a better set for most people overall. I've really found that this 8K peak helps add in details and kind of a technical element to it, whereas the i3 kind of falters off and kind of tapers off after that nice like 2.53K peak. My personal feeling with this set is that it would make a great IEM to EQ, and that it's an okay set, especially if you're not looking at bass. Like if you really like the Hexa and you want the straight improvement from the Hexa that has that same level of bass, I think the i3 Mk3 would be a really good set for you. If you're like a fan of Mark from Super Reviews tuning philosophy, I think this could be something that might really work for you and is something to consider and think about. Okay, the Try i3 Mk3, it kind of gets in that area around a B where I recognize that it is a good set as a nice FR, but it's not something that I fully love. It really lacks dynamics, but it has really great upper mids and nice details in the air. Its note weight is almost non-existent, but other than that, it's sound. It feels really open. It feels like it images well. It feels like it has a crispiness and a detail that isn't always present at this price range. Again, the score itself isn't high, but it is one of those IEMs that I 1000% recommend to people if bass is not a priority to you, because I think there's something special about the timbre and characteristics of it. And if you ever have a buddy that has a demo of it, definitely take the time to listen to it, because I think it is really unique and special. The i3 Mk3. Now this is a fun set that has a very nice shell. I'm super impressed with this shell and I like it a great deal. I like the sound. I don't love it, but I think it has a special appeal to people. I think sometimes in the hobby, we just look at an IEM like, oh, that's purple, that's really pretty. And this might be something that you might want to buy. Timmy from Giz Audio reviewed this, and he said that it lacks bass, and I have to agree with him wholeheartedly. This is really for treble heads that like air, and it has a unique sound signature. If that's kind of what you're going for, it might be your jam, and it has a very unique sound and feel to this IEM. So it gets a recommendation, although it's not a super strong recommendation. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye. You're still here. It's over. Go home. Oh, you're expecting a teaser for our next video. Well, we don't have that kind of money. What are you expecting? One of those store reviewers to show up in a saucy little leather number? Go. Oh, I can tell you one thing. We are going to have a collab video. We have no idea what it's going to be. Probably Kryn, maybe Chris, or Joyce. Don't deny it. She's got range. Go. Get out of here. Go.
Go!
Go.
Go on with you!